There's a moment in conversation that most people completely miss. It's subtle, easy to overlook. Someone starts talking, not about the weather, not about work, not about those surface level topics we use to fill space, but about something that actually bothers them. A frustration they've been carrying. A fear they haven't shared. A situation they don't quite know how to handle. And in that moment, something invisible happens. Most people think it's just conversation, someone venting, someone processing, someone getting something off their chest. But beneath the surface, there's a psychological mechanism at work, something that completely changes the meaning of what's actually happening. When someone chooses to share their problems with you, they're not just talking. They're testing. They're evaluating. They're making a decision about you, one that can shape everything that comes next. The real question is, do you understand what's actually being asked of you? Let's start with something that sounds obvious, but isn't. Human beings don't share their problems randomly. We don't walk up to strangers and unload our deepest frustrations. We don't confide in people we don't trust. We don't expose vulnerability to just anyone nearby. There's a selection process happening. A filtering mechanism. A quiet psychological calculation that most people never consciously notice. So when someone shares a problem with you, they've already decided something. They've already placed you in a category, as someone who might be worth the risk. Because sharing problems is a risk. Every time someone opens up about something difficult, they expose themselves to potential judgment. They reveal weakness. They show a part of themselves that isn't polished, isn't perfect, isn't designed to impress. And as they do, they're watching you, very carefully, to see what you do with that information. This is where most people get it wrong. When someone shares a problem, the instinct is to fix it. To offer solutions. To show competence. To prove how easily the issue could be solved. It feels helpful. It feels productive. It feels like the right thing to do. But that instinct, while understandable, completely misses what's actually happening. Research shows that only about 20% of the time, people are actually looking for solutions. The other 80%, they're looking for something else, rather than something to understand. And in that moment, something shifts. Quietly, subtly, a door closes. Not dramatically, not obviously, but definitively. They learn that you're not a safe place for vulnerability. They learn that sharing with you means being redirected instead of received. And they learn that next time they have something difficult to process, you're probably not the person they should come to. This happens everywhere: friendships, families, professional relationships. And when it comes to attraction, it happens all the time. There's a pattern in the early stages of attraction that most people don't recognize. When someone feels drawn to another person, but hasn't yet decided what that feeling means, they often create small, natural tests. Not games. Not manipulation. Just moments where they observe how you respond to vulnerability. Sharing a problem is one of those moments. It might seem casual, mentioning a difficult situation at work, talking about a conflict with a friend, bringing up something that's been weighing on them. But underneath it all, they're asking a deeper question. Can I trust this person? Do they really see me? Will they judge me, or will they understand? Your response answers that question. And here's what makes this so powerful: the feeling of being truly understood activates the same neural pathways as physical pleasure. It creates a biochemical response that bonds people together. It builds a sense that this person is different, that they're safe, that they're worth investing in. When you give someone that experience, you become associated with something rare, something most people deeply crave but rarely receive. This isn't about pretending to listen. It's not about nodding while thinking about what you'll say next. It's about genuinely receiving what someone is sharing, without immediately trying to change it. So what does that actually look like? When someone shares a problem, your first response shouldn't be advice. It should be acknowledgement. That means reflecting what they've shared in a way that shows you truly heard them, not just the words, but the feeling behind them. It's not about repeating or summarizing. It's about capturing the emotional essence. If someone says they're frustrated because their friend keeps canceling plans, the response isn't telling them what they should do. It's recognizing how frustrating that must feel. It's acknowledging the pattern. It's validating that their reaction makes sense. It sounds simple, but it's not easy. Because most people are so conditioned to fix things that sitting with someone else's discomfort feels almost unbearable. There's this urge to move things forward, to make it better, to prove your value by being useful. But in moments like this, the deepest form of usefulness is presence. It's giving someone the experience of being truly seen, without being fixed. Of being understood, without being changed. Of being allowed to feel what they feel, without interruption. There's another layer to this, especially when it comes to attraction. When someone shares problems with you repeatedly, they're not just seeking comfort. They're building something. Every time they open up and receive a positive response, a pattern forms. You become linked, in their mind, to the feeling of being understood. To the relief of not being judged. To the rare comfort of being fully themselves. That creates emotional investment. And emotional investment is one of the strongest foundations of deeper attraction. This isn't about becoming someone's therapist. It's not about sitting silently while they vent endlessly. It's about creating moments where someone feels genuinely received, and letting those moments build over time. People who understand this naturally become different in relationships. They become the person others gravitate toward. The one people feel comfortable around. The one who creates ease, just by being present. And this isn't manipulation. It's not a technique. It's simply understanding what people actually need, and offering it sincerely. Of course, there's an important balance here. Being emotionally available doesn't mean becoming a dumping ground for other people's problems. It doesn't mean sacrificing your own well-being. It doesn't mean losing yourself in someone else's struggles. There's a difference between being present and being consumed. Healthy emotional availability means listening, understanding, and reflecting, but also having boundaries. Knowing when to gently redirect. Recognizing when someone needs professional help. And staying grounded in your own emotional state while supporting someone else. The people who do this best aren't the ones who give everything. They're the ones who give appropriately. They can be fully present, without losing themselves. They can offer understanding, without taking responsibility for someone else's emotions. And this is a skill. It can be learned. It can be developed. There's one final piece, especially when it comes to attraction. When you respond to someone's vulnerability with genuine understanding, you stand out. Most people either try to fix things immediately, which feels dismissive, or they get uncomfortable and change the subject, which feels rejecting, or they shift the focus to themselves, which feels self-centered. But when you simply receive, when you validate, when you understand without agenda, you create contrast. You create an experience that feels different. And that difference is what people remember. It's what draws them closer. It's what lays the foundation for real connection. It's not about saying perfect words. It's about being able to sit with someone's experience, without needing to change it just to feel comfortable yourself. That takes emotional maturity. It takes patience. It takes a willingness to stay present, even when things feel heavy. And that's exactly why it's rare. And exactly why it's so powerful. When you understand what it really means when someone shares their problems with you, you don't need a script. You just see what's happening beneath the surface, and respond in a way that builds trust instead of breaking it. Because vulnerability never stays still. It either deepens, or it pulls back. And sometimes, when it pulls back, it's not because the interest isn't there. It's because the interest is there. And that's exactly what makes it feel dangerous.